So I met this woman in November that left quite an impression on me. I've been spending some of my time on recruitment, and particularly on Rice's campus these days. And this young woman's name is Tara, and she's going to be part of the 2015 Houston Corps next fall. Yep, Houston, H-Town. So Tara is earnest, she's determined, she's well-informed, and she's joining Teach for America because she's fed up with what she observes as injustice happening to our kids every day. Now, Tara grew up in a low-income community right there in Houston, and she's watched all too many times the statistics by her classmates playing out, the statistics that we all know by heart, that 1 in 10 kids who grew up in her community make it to and through college. Tara wants to change that. She's ready to join us, but it's not the most popular choice. Tara's own brother calls us Temps for America, TFA, Temps for America. He says that our teachers are joining classrooms to pad their resumes, to boost their egos, to dive in this work with a savior mentality, and to then just wipe our hands of this after 2 years. We're temporary. Temps for America. I've heard this before. No doubt many of you have heard this before, or a version of it. But you all, what we are at Teach for America is anything but temporary. Nearly 90% of our alumni today are working in either low-income communities or in education. Nearly 2/3 of them have dedicated their lives working in education. We have almost 800 principals across this country. We have more than 200 system leaders. Some of you may be surprised by this, but we also have 100 union leaders across the nation. And many others are running nonprofits, fighting in the justice systems for equity, providing health care for our kids, serving right here on our staff at Teach for America. And let's not forget, we have 11,000 alumni teaching in classrooms today. And there is nothing temporary about that. Make no mistake, we are always working to get better, and we have a lot to get better at. But Tara and many of our incoming Corps members are really bucking a crowd to join our work. This isn't a trendy choice for Tara. Her own brother is against it, but she's diving in nevertheless. That takes a certain type of courage. It takes going against the grain. You know, I think back to when I joined the Corps almost 17 years ago now, and it took a different kind of courage to join the work. So many of the people that I loved, and many of us love, were at least asking me, why are you choosing to just teach after college? Courage looks different in different moments and different challenges, but it does take a certain type of courage to go against what folks who you deeply care about and respect think. It is hard to feel like you are disappointing them. Ultimately, though, I will admit, I got a pat on the back for doing Teach for America. Today's Corps members join us knowing that we are controversial, knowing that we get called Temps for America, but that doesn't stop them from joining us. Tara's courage comes from her conviction that we are making an impact in education. She's seen the problem of the school system firsthand, and she's also seen our Corps members and alumni be part of the change that she wants to be a part of. Tara wants to take part in this. I remember you all in this meeting, she literally said, Elisa, I want to be a change agent. I want to teach. It was really funny, actually. It was great. And in the next year, you will help her be proud of this job, this role, this charge, and these students. Tara looked me in the eye and she told me that she knew that would be tough, but she's also really excited to be part of Teach for America. She was excited that all of you in this room have her back. All of us, the 10,000 core members across this country, the nearly 40,000 alumni that we have, and the countless of community members in the 50 regions where we work. That's something. We have her back. I want you to know that I am so grateful for every single person in this room. One of the values of this conference is real talk. And I just want to say that with full honesty, real talk, you are the glue. Your work matters. You are so very central to this whole thing working. For 25 years now, we've been operating with a theory that we could attract the most diverse and extraordinary people from all backgrounds and all experiences to teach. That they would do incredible work in the classroom, that they would feel the outrage of knowing that their students are not having the opportunities that they deserve. Those 2 years in the classroom would turn into 10 years in the classroom, or 20, or 30, or it would lead to a career in juvenile justice, or policy, or school leadership, or right here on our staff at Teach for America. It would lead to a life spent legislating, or innovating, or organizing for our kids. It leads to a spiral of positive change, a domino effect of more and more people who care about changing the status quo, and you are part of that. It's a domino effect that you can see when you think about the many of 100 core members that we've had in the past few years who were taught by core members join us. You are part of that. It's a domino effect when you can see when you see alums like Brittany Packnett bringing change in the nation with her activism. Through her leadership on the Ferguson Commission, and through her continued excellent work as our executive director in St. Louis. It's a domino effect when you think about a place like Washington, D.C. You all, 15 years ago, if you asked people what were the systems that were having the most challenge in providing the opportunities and an education that their kids deserve, Washington, D.C. would be on that list. 15 years later, it is the fastest improving district in the nation. Of course, many people have contributed to this, but it is important to illustrate the contribution of Teach for America. The Chancellor of Schools is a Teach for America alumni. 3/4 of her cabinet are Teach for America alumni. The last 4 Teachers of the Year are Teach for America alumni. The former 2 deputy mayors of education are Teach for America alumni. The former state superintendent is a Teach for America alumni. The 20% of those principals in DCPS are Teach for America alumni, and hundreds of our core members and alumni work in DCPS public schools. Now that's our power, that's our contribution, and we're striking a match on a fire that won't go out for our alumni, our core members, or our students. And you are the beginning of that chain reaction. Here on the TLD team, you're picking up the match and you're lighting it. You're making sure that when they're in the classroom, our core members lead their students to success. You make sure that in this highly charged environment, they feel part of a community. You make sure that they process this hard work. You develop them as leaders that can work effectively across lines of difference. You help them grow their deep and radical belief in every child and their family. It's an incredibly hard job. And I want to pause and honor that. We hold ourselves to incredibly high standards around here. And that's good, because our kids deserve that of us. But we do well and take some advice from Audre Lorde, who said, "I've come to believe that caring for myself is not an act of self-indulgence. It's an act of survival." You all, we need to take care of ourselves to be the best that we can be for our kids. You tell your core members that. I want to tell you that tonight. Matt and I have been talking about this very concept, and we were in conversation yesterday. And he was relaying a conversation he had over the weekend with a friend of his about pats on the back. Yeah, like pats on the back. The type that Tara hasn't gotten yet, and the type that you don't always get when you say that you work for Teach for America. This is what Matt's friend told him, and I think quite poetically. We can't spend all of our time patting ourselves on the back. We need our hands for other things. But once in a while, we do need to stop, put down what we're carrying, and pat ourselves on the back. Folks, we need to feel the progress that we are a part of. When times are tough, that is even more reason to believe in ourselves. To be our best for our kids, we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate and be our best for one another. We need to support each other. I want you to think about your closest friend or colleague that is in this room right now. They deserve praise, and so do you. I want us all to stand up, and I want us to stop for a minute. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. I want us to put down what we are carrying right this moment, and I want to ask us to give yourself and give each other a round of applause. But hold on, I want you to give yourself a round of applause that communicates your unwavering commitment that you give to this work every single day, the heart and soul that you bring to this every single day, because you deserve that and we deserve that. Let me hear it. Yeah. So real talk, TLD, you are critical to reaching one day. Let's remember and celebrate that. Because one day isn't simply a slogan for t-shirts and tote bags, though we have pretty great t-shirts and slogans. Thank you, marketing team, who I know are in the house tonight. One day is a chain reaction. It's a charge. It's a call to action. One day is the power of a dream that we can't always see, but that we can imagine, that we will work for alongside many others, and we will achieve. It's what our children ask of us. It's what our children deserve of us. It's what our nation needs from us. Thank you.